Yo, what's up, boys? I'm back with another fight card prediction video. Today we're doing UFC 314, Volkanovski vs. Lopez. I've been hyped for this card for about a month or two. After last week, the card was horrible last week. After last week, we're going to be making up for that, hopefully. So let's get into it. We're going to start off with Tresean Gore versus Marco Tulio. I think this is a pretty easy fight to pick, honestly. Don't overthink it. Tresean Gore, this is a dude that shoots a lot, and he tries to get submissions. He got a little guillotine. He's one of these fighters that they're an okay wrestler, but they were never top of the collegiate level. It's a fighter that you feed to Bo Nickel to show off his wrestling skills against another wrestler. Or that you feed to Marco Tulio, amazing striker. Well, we haven't seen that much from him, but he looks pretty good. He's been getting some flashy knockouts. In his Dana White Contender Series fight, I think he got a spinning back fist or elbow. It was a flashy one. In his last fight, he got a round one knockout, I think. He knocked out, I don't know. Yeah, he knocked out Ihor Potieria. I was right, yeah. Ihor Potieria, that's a dude that's kind of hard to knock out. Gritty fighter. So if Marco Tulio is doing that in his first actual UFC fight, you can just imagine what he's about to do to Tresean Gore. Tresean Gore is just a dude that looks big, but when you see him fight, he just wrestles. He doesn't use it for much striking. Marco Tulio, he's gonna, as he always does, unload on the head, maybe some knees, and he's gonna chop the legs, and I think he's gonna get a quick knockout, or it's either going to be a round one knockout or a round three knockout. It's either going to be an easy walk-off knockout, or he's going to break down Tresean Gore, stop his takedowns, beat the shit out of him, and then get a TKO in the end. So next up, we're going to go on to Sumaderje versus Mitraposo. I've been seeing people picking the Chinese guy, Sumaderje. He's not very good. He lost to Matt Schnell. He has no power. The only thing he has is length over Mitraposo. So you're hoping he can jab away from the distance if you wanted him to win. But what I think is going to happen, I think Mitraposo, because he lost his first UFC fight, this is a dude that's going to be an upcoming prospect. This is a prospect that I think is a good fighter, and I don't think he's going to be losing to Sumaderji. I think he's not hyped yet, but this will be one of the fights that gets him hyped, because I think he's going to get a rear naked choke. I think he's going to have really good scrambles. They're two good wrestlers. They have good jiu-jitsu game. They have good jiu-jitsu. I just think that Mitraposo, I see him locking up a rear naked choke on Sumaderji's skinny neck and choking him out blue. I don't think Sumaderji's going to... Maybe a quick tap on the neck, but I don't see him tapping. I think he's going to go out cold. And they're going to lift his feet up and shake him, wake him up, get the blood back to his brain. So next, we have Cedric Dumas versus Michelle Alexey. I'm not good at these names, guys. I swear I watch the fights. I'm too lazy to remember their names. Michelle Alexey. Yeah, you're welcome. So Cedric Dumas, this is a dude, he does go to wars, but the wars, he's a decision machine. And most decisions he's not winning. He's not the best fighter. He's kind of below gatekeeper. And I think Michelle, this is going to be a dude who is a gatekeeper. And I think this is a dude who has been a gatekeeper. And yes, Michelle, he got his arm fucking broken in half by Kevin Holland. And his last fight, I think he's 3-fight loss streak. Let's go look. His last fight, he lost to Magomedov. Shara Putin. He's not a great striker. He's okay at striking. He does have the power. He has power. He's a knockout machine. He used to be, at least. And that's all Cedric Dumas has to worry about. As long as Cedric Dumas doesn't get flatlined, and that is an if, because I think that's 30-40% chance of that happening. I think he wins a comfortable decision, breaking down Michelle. Michael. Darren Elkins versus Julian Erosa. This is a fight I'm pretty confident in. So, Darren Elkins, and Julian Erosa, they're both older dudes coming. I'd say Darren Elkins is probably going to retire like a year or two ahead of Julian Erosa, but they've had long careers and they've had a lot of fights. They've had long careers in the UFC. Darren Elkins, I'm guessing, is retiring this year or next year. You can see in his picture the age. It's bad. He is old. And this is a dude, Darren Elkins. It's Darren Elkins. He's been in many wars. He's kind of known for he's like a tank, bro. He can take a lot of damage and bounce back. But what happens with these guys that are known for taking damage? They start to decay as they get older. And once they break, they go on their Tony Ferguson arc. I think, my prediction right now, I think Julian Erosa starts Darren Elkins' Tony Ferguson arc. I think that this is going to be a bad knockout loss. Or maybe not even. Maybe it's going to be a bad breakdown. A bad breakdown of Darren Elkins, which he doesn't survive. He might get TKO'd. I think he's going to take a lot of damage in this fight because Julian Erosa, this is a dude that knocks people out. This is a dude that knocks out hyped prospects. It's a dude that you don't expect him to win, and he just does. And he loses to the dudes that you expect him to beat. Not very consistent, but what you can bet, he's going to knock out or TKO Darren Elkins. And I think that because of age and damage, it's any moment we see Elkins get chinned badly. And it's any moment we see the decay. And Julian Erosa, this is someone I think that's going to do it. I think this is going to be the end of Darren Elkins. And hopefully he retires the fight after this. On a similar note, Jim Miller versus Chase Hooper. Jim Miller, I wanted you to win at UFC 300 so bad. But you got the shit beat out of you by Bobby Green. I can't be picking someone that got the shit beat out of them by Bobby Green in the Big 2024 to win in the Big 2025. And Chase Hooper, as everyone has been pointing out, he's like Charles Oliveira, bro. He's going through that arc. He started off kind of a quitter, not very good, and he's just gotten better and better. He was a young dude, and now that he's maturing into his body, no weird shit, that sounded kind of odd. As he's maturing as a fighter and gaining strength, he's on his maybe Max Holloway arc, except he's a grappler. So yeah, Charles Oliveira arc. And he's climbing up, and I see him being a title contender maybe even. Definitely a top contender within the next 2 years, maybe even next year. What can Jim Miller do against him? The only answer is get subbed. Jim Miller, I'm sorry, you might get armbarred. I think it's going to be a triangle. I see Jim Miller getting triangled. Genuinely, I love Jim Miller, but it's a wrap. It's a wrap, bro. You had a great career. Good send-off. We'll send you off with a good fight after this one, and then that should be your last fight. Yan Xiaonan versus Virna Jandiroba. Virna. You're uglier than Raul Rosas Jr. Raul Rosas Jr., he's not even that ugly. He just has a facial deformity. Genuinely, he's not that bad. He has a cleft lip and a big chin, but that's it. I feel like Raul Rosas Jr., he's not that ugly. Virna, you're that ugly. Your eyes go the wrong way. You have no chin, and you're cooked. But this isn't a looks contest. This is a fight. And Yan Xianan's still winning that, bro. Yan Xiaonan has better recovery. She got fucking knocked out at UFC 300, and then she did lose, but kept fighting. And Virna, what'd she have? She has some subs. She's submission, ground game fighter. Yan Xiaonan, she's a fun fighter. More of a fun fighter. Yeah, she has some good ground defense and ground game. Virna, you don't have the striking. You have some knockouts, but you do not have the striking of Yan Xianan. I think Yan Xianan just rangy decision. We're going to say either it's a firefight and it's fun, or more likely, it's going to be a little stinker, and it's going to make people not very happy. But it will be followed by this fucking banger. Dan Ige versus Mr. Toad. Dan Ige versus Toad. Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. So, at first I wanted to say that Dan Ige would knock out Sean Woodson. I was thinking Sean Woodson, of course he's lengthier. He fights like this. He comes up. He's going to come out jabbing, 1-2, 1-2, try and get a decision. I don't see him finishing Dan Ige unless it's a submission. No knockout. And I thought Dan Ige maybe fucking cracks him with the right overhand, knocks out Sean Woodson. Yes, I think this is a possibility, but more likely, I see Dan Ige getting done like he did it against Lerone Murphy. I don't know why it didn't come to my name. Lerone Murphy versus Sean Woodson. It's just going to be a taller, lengthier version of Lerone Murphy, slightly fatter. And I think Dan Ige, he's going to get little manned and not be able to hit his shots. It's going to be a fun fight, though. It's going to be a striking, on-the-feet fight. I don't see any takedowns coming. Maybe this will be a fight where actually Dan Ige shoots takedowns, if anything. Dan Ige, I want you to win. But also, I think it would be better for the division if Sean Woodson wins. This is an Apex Predator. I watch every card, bro. He has been an Apex Predator. He's been on a streak. This is a very good fighter. And Dan Ige, he's a perfect gatekeeper for him. We're about to see if Sean Woodson's good enough. And I think he is. Now to get depressed. Now to get sad. Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes. Nikita Krylov, he used to be a first-round finisher, knocked people out, submitted them. Dominic Reyes, it's Dominic Reyes. He went on a loss streak, but overall is a very good fighter, and he's coming back. I'm switching it last second. If Nikita Krylov wins this, I'm going to look so dumb. I'm going to say age gets to Nikita, please. I'm praying. Dominic Reyes, please come back. If Dominic Reyes, if the only reason he was losing was genuinely because the John Jones loss and like his ego got bruised, and he's back at prime, and or almost as good as before, I think he wins. But if he took too much damage and that's why he was losing and he just got a little lucky and he's having a little comeback, then Nikita's going to chin him first round. I'm going to pray and hope and say Dominic Reyes knocks out Nikita Krylov. I like this card, even though it might not be. I'm picking a lot of finishes. I think there's going to be a lot of finishes. Just like... Okay, so Dominic Reyes beats Nikita Krylov, I think. I hope. Just like I think Yair Rodriguez is going to knock out Patricio Pitbull. Yes, I was on the Pitbull hype arc. And I just realized this entire card I've been switching and I don't know who to choose. That's how you know this is a great card with great matchups. But Yair Rodriguez is beating Patricio Pitbull. And I wanted to be on the Patricio Pitbull arc, the hype train. Yes, Pitbull, he's awesome. He's a decision machine, though. And he was winning decisions, take hands in Bellator. It's not going to be like MVP. The only reason Michael Venom Page, my GOAT, I love Michael Venom Page, came from Bellator and did so good is because of his fight style. He fights staying away from conflict, taekwondo type approach, staying away from damage. Patricio Pitbull, he's a fighter that gets in there and he fights, he scraps. He doesn't go, well, he's had flashy knockouts, but he goes to get wars. That's why people love him. But he's at the end of his career. What happens? He's going to have a few good fights maybe. I think Yair Rodriguez knocks him out easily. He's going to show him levels to this game. And just because Michael Venom Page has done good, and just because we're having Kaya Sakura doing okay against Pantoja, and like these fighters looking good, I think Patricio Pitbull, it's going to end up like Ben Askren. He's not going to be that good. And yeah, he is a fighter that I have been a fan of and a lot of people love, and he was a great fighter, but he's washed, bro. We're going to watch him washed, look slow maybe, or maybe he'll look good, pop out, and then get chinned by Yair Rodriguez. I think Yair, he's probably been practicing his grappling a lot since he just got subbed against Brian Ortega. And Patricio Pitbull, he thinks it's going to be easy. He's coming in with the mindset probably, I'll try and get a first-round submission. I think Yair Rodriguez knows that. And obviously, Yair beats Pitbull in the striking. If he didn't, I'd be very surprised. But I think Yair is going to strike with Pitbull and block a lot of the takedown attempts. And if he gets taken down, he has been fighting top-level fighters for his entire career. Yair Rodriguez, he's underrated, man. He's very good. I think he knocks out Pitbull, and I think the hype train comes back. Yair Rodriguez might fight for the title again, and Diego Lopez wins. Diego Lopez versus Yair Rodriguez after Diego Lopez versus Masvidal. All right, Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. MMA Guru is saying Bryce Mitchell is going to win. I'm not stupid. I think he's wrong. I think that Bryce Mitchell, I agree, he is a great fighter, and I think he's more of an MMA fighter than people realize. They come out thinking he's just like a jiu-jitsu only specialist. No, he has great striking, and I did want to pick him just to cause controversy. But I think this really is a tailored-made match for Bryce Mitchell to lose. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit. But I think Gene Silva is going to find the finish. From what I've seen, he beat Drew Dober very convincingly. Bryce Mitchell, of course, is coming off a horrible knockout to Josh Emmett, followed by beating a can in Royce Gracie. Bryce Mitchell, of course, he could get a gilly. He could get a takedown and then submit Gene Silva, but I think Gene Silva is just going to... I think Bryce Mitchell is going to get hit with the Brian Ortega. Gene Silva is going to hit him with the Diego Lopez versus Brian Ortega. He's going to overhand knock him out and then hit him again, wake him back up. That's what I see happening. I don't see Bryce Mitchell having another seizure. I pray to God he doesn't. His brain would be so cooked. Imagine. He would literally become Hitler after that. But I do see Gene Silva finishing him easily. And I think that Bryce Mitchell, he's going to come out, and it's going to be back and forth. Gene Silva's striking, he can seem very back and forth, but he's one of these fighters like Ilia Topuria where you're back and forth till he has you. And he has the power where you're cooked. Once he gets you, it's over. And I think Bryce Mitchell, it's going to be over for him. Gene Silva by KO, round 2 or 3. Now for our co-main, Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. This one I'm excited for. What people don't realize about Paddy Pimblett, he is 23-3. He is not 23 or 22-3. He is not 22-0. Michael Chandler, of course, he's 23-9. He's had a long career. But I'm just saying, Paddy Pimblett doesn't have unlimited plot armor. He has lost before, and he's a good grappler. I don't think he's a very good striker at all. And I think that Michael Chandler, there's going to be waves of Michael Chandler, and Paddy Pimblett won't survive. If he survives, this is a different story. If Paddy Pimblett survives Michael Chandler, and Michael Chandler starts to gas, and before it hits round 2 or 3, where Michael Chandler has his comeback moments, or round 4, before Michael Chandler's steam You have to hit in between. There's a start of Michael Chandler. He's going to come out and try and beat the fuck out of you. He's going to get a little tired, and you might beat the shit out of him. Then he comes back, starts beating the fuck out of you. If Paddy Pimblett catches him in that little period where Michael Chandler is not doing so good, and Paddy Pimblett can get a submission, of course he'll win then. Do I think he'll take that opportunity? No. Why? Number one, the big reason I think everyone's going to say, if you saw his fight against Tony Ferguson, Paddy Pimblett didn't look very good. Yes, he beat him, but it was washed Tony, and Paddy Pimblett was getting his head rocked back. If Paddy Pimblett gets hit by those shots by Michael Chandler, he's going out. He's going to go to sleep. I think Michael Chandler sleeps Paddy Pimblett, and I know almost every pick I'm saying KO, KO, KO. That's just how good this card is. Do I really think that's going to happen? Yes. That's how hyped I am, bro. I think this is going to be a KO-filled card, and I think Michael Chandler is going to either knock out Paddy Pimblett or Paddy Pimblett's going to submit Michael Chandler, but I think it's more likely Michael Chandler knocks out Paddy Pimblett. He just went to war with Oliveira. He nearly knocked out Oliveira, didn't get submitted, and yes, I think that Oliveira was not going for submissions on purpose because he wanted to prove himself, because Oliveira, he's a finisher. He needs to show that he can win a decision after losing to Arman. But I think in a decision, Michael Chandler doesn't beat Paddy Pimblett because I think he's stronger, and I think that he's higher skilled than Paddy. The fight IQ may come into play. Maybe Paddy gets a guillotine. Maybe Paddy gets a... Michael Chandler can give his back and let Paddy submit him, but Michael Chandler isn't Bobby Green. This is a dude that survives, and he's good at it. And he is a fighter that will beat Paddy Pimblett, I think. I think he's a much better striker, and they're on par grappling-wise. Obviously, Paddy Pimblett has better jiu-jitsu, but Michael Chandler's wrestling is better than Paddy's wrestling. So I think Michael Chandler either wins a decision or knocks out Paddy. Now it gets sad. I'm sorry. I don't want Volk to win. I know I love Volk. I don't want him to win this. And he is one of my favorite fighters. And it hurts to say this because of course I want him to win. Of course, but for the featherweight division, we need Diego Lopez. We need that option for Ilya if he ever comes back down. We need new fights. We need Diego Lopez versus Yair Rodriguez eventually. Diego Lopez versus Masvidal 2. I mean, Volkanovski versus Evelev. Yeah, that's a fun fight, but... Dude, I'm sorry, Volk. You need to take one for the team, mate. You need to take one for the team. You need to get chinned, bro. I'm hoping it's not a bad knockout. Or submission. Maybe. I don't see Diego Lopez submitting Volk. It's going to be a knockout. Might be a flying knee. We need it to happen, though. Yeah, Volk's, I think, higher skilled. Obviously, much more experienced. But his chin's gone, man. And, I mean, yeah, it's easy to say that when he gets knocked out by Ilya and gets knocked out by, by Islam. Yeah, it's easy to say his chin's gone when he gets knocked out by two of the greatest fighters of this decade. But I genuinely think that it doesn't take a lot to take out Volk now. And we're about to learn that. Old man Volk is getting put away. And yeah, I'll be super happy for Volk. I'm going to be rooting for him in the fight, but deep down in my heart, what's best for the division is Diego Lopez winning. Also, give Volk some fucking cooking shorts. You better give him custom shorts. And if it's a decision, hell yeah, Volk's winning that. If it's a decision and Volk loses, I'm going to be happy. I don't want to see this man get flatlined. But that's probably what's going to happen. I hope you liked my picks. I'm trying to be realistic. I know it hurts to hear, yeah, Volk needs to get knocked out, but it's the truth, man. See you guys. I love y'all. See you in the next video. Like this video, share it to your friends if anything, or comment, just talk to me, man. I'm doing this YouTube shit to build connections. I like the internet. I like doing this. I'm a real dude. I'm not doing this to get rich. I'm not doing this for money. That would be stupid. I'm doing this because I want to make content that y'all watch. I love watching UFC content. I love watching UFC stuff. So hopefully some of you guys love watching my stuff. But see you guys in the next video. I'm going to be making a banger slideshow. And I've been working on it for like a week. I mean, it's a lot of work. I got to do some research, man. And I got to research the entire roster because I want to make a good video. But hopefully you guys like that video. I might pump that out today or tomorrow. This week it's coming out, though. So stay tuned. See you, boys. Bye.